And the next section of our program is basically the Biz Battle. So the pitching competition for Belarus-based startups at the moment. And we are going to do our best to help them as much as we can in these trying and difficult times. So we have been selecting companies. We had an open call to startups to apply. And it is a difficult time indeed, because a lot of startups are facing physical difficulties and others are not, were not able to participate. But we got the bravest and also most courageous startups up on stage. We selected 7 companies that will be pitching for you today. And we're going to have a bit of a different format from, I think, a lot of pitching competitions. We want to make it a little bit more fun. I'm still waiting for some more jury members to join so that I can introduce everybody. But basically on the jury, we will have Aya Perta, who you know already from today from Rubyline, based in Latvia right now. We also have David Roberts, my good friend based in the US, but super keen on Belarus and Central Eastern Europe when it comes to finding investment proposals and new companies to look at. He's a very well-connected guy and is doing amazingly well. We also have Steve Mooney from Dealmaker, the Global Entrepreneurs Program and Department of the International Trade. We also have Jane Grady, who we heard from today, also from who is the Deputy Trade Commissioner for Eastern Europe and Central Asia. And we also have Ina Polteran from the British Embassy. So they will be hopefully joining us any moment now. I'm still waiting for the jury to join so that we can begin the competition. As we wait for them, Dave, welcome. How are you doing?
Doing great. Doing great. It's 9:52 here in the United States, so I had to send all my kids off to the playground so they couldn't run through my office and disturb all the great action that we're going to see here. So it's actually warm today, so I'm not sending them off to a freezing death. It's nice. Excellent.
Aya, you ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, well, my kids unfortunately are in-house because it's a cold weather here in Latvia, in Riga. But we have some hot tub outside. I hope that they will use the opportunity.
Excellent. Okay, as we're looking for missing jury members, I'll briefly explain how we're going to be doing this. I see that Mike just posted that he is here. So if the technical team can add Mike, that would be amazing. So the way we're going to do it, as I said, is a bit different. We want to have some fun. So the way it's going to rock and roll is that we're going to have a startup pitching for 3 minutes. Then we'll have questions. So the jury, please raise your hands. And we will hopefully have good questions. 2 minutes for questions, so quick questions. And after the questions, I want you guys from the jury to do it, American Idol or Britain Got Talent style, and say the score on a level of 1 to 10 for each company that we saw and why you gave that score. Feel free to be as nice as you want, or you can play the role of Simon. That's up to you a little bit. Okay, let me try to add Mike at least. So we have Mike from DIT on the thing. Maybe I can do it. I'll speak Russian a bit to the technical guys. Можете, пожалуйста, добавить в жюри Майка, который написал только что в чате. И если в тест, вот Ина тоже здесь. Ага, Mike, we can see you. Ina Poltaran also needs to be here. Okay, Mike, we got you. I think we need to get Ina as well. Ina Poltaran as well is in the group. Ina Poltaran тоже в группе. Добавьте, пожалуйста. Yes, we got Ina Poltaran as well. And we also had Jane Grady, if she is with us. If not, we'll continue.
Dimitri, I sit in the same team as Jane, so I'm the head of investment. So it's better for me to be in this session rather than Jane, because I deal directly with the startup companies.
Excellent. Okay, well, in that case, the jury is set. Tanya Marinic, are you going to join us for the jury as well? She's here. Okay, I think we're set. So again, I'll repeat for the jury. Ask questions. The startups have 3 minutes. Then you have 2 minutes to ask questions. And then I want each one of you to give me your score for the startup on a scale of 1 to 10. where 10 is being awesome and 1 needs a lot of work. And tell me why, right? So we get some feedback to the startups. Let's make it a little bit of fun. Okay, everybody ready? In that case, we have our first contender for today, and we're gonna have Nikita from ECOntainer, my apologies, which is a vegetable farm in a container. It is as simple as and as genius as that. So Nikita, whenever you're ready, please start. You will see the timer behind me whenever you start.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nikita. I'm a CEO and co-founder of a project called ECOntainer. What I have with me is a bunch of nice fresh strawberries I just picked up from a local store. As you can see, there's none. I simply can't. The reason for that is that you can't really go to the store now and buy fresh salad or herb or strawberry. That's not only a problem here in Belarus. Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations claims that the population is currently off track from 2030 zero hunger goal, and there are too many. The situation actually gets worse year after year. There are two main reasons for that. First of all is shrinking farmable land, and second one is the growing world population. Basically, in 2018, I was living in London, and I came across this wonderful collaboration between a private company and the University of East London. They were growing food and vegetables inside of a shipping container and then delivering it straight away to a local restaurant next to them. I thought this is an amazing idea, and I came back to Minsk and I gathered together a group of ambitious and brightest professionals from biotech, automation industries, and we've tried to work on this idea to improve that and make it into a startup. Basically, we came up with the idea of a piece of equipment in the form of a shipping container. It is capable of creating an artificial environment that is, you can call it, to replicate nature in a way. You can grow a wide variety of crops regardless of the geographical location or time of year. It has many advantages to the traditional agriculture. First of all, it cuts logistics and storage costs because you don't have to travel that far. The food doesn't have to travel that far. It minimizes the CO2 emissions and also reduces packaging and also eliminates the need of chemical and thermal treatment. Also have with some downfalls and as well, it's not an app which you can simply download from the App Store. It's a $35,000 worth of agriculture equipment. So we've tried to get some traction, not by selling it, but by going and making sales of the actual food that we grow there. We tried direct sales and subscription-based sales, and we were quite successful with that. I truly believe that with this project, we can deliver fresh and local sustainable food to the communities around the world and try to help and solve this issue. Thank you, and I welcome your questions.
Thank you so very much, Nikita. We have 2 minutes for the questions, please. I think, Aya, you have your hand up. You are muted, Aya.
Sorry, 2 questions actually I do have. The name of the company, why did you decide to go with such a name, knowing that there are plenty of e-containers out there?
Yeah,
go on.
Right, so first of all, we kind of tried to merge the eco side of things and the container bit, and actually this name was vacant. The domain name was vacant, strangely enough, so we decided to go that way with the name.
Okay, and what is the target audience, target market for you?
Yeah, so we work with both B2B and B2C sectors. It's a really wide audience. You can use it. It can be used by restaurants and supermarkets, but it can also be used by local citizens, just families who wants to grow their own food, who wants to be independent from local food supply if they have a shortage of it.
Thank you. Dave, you had your hand up as well.
Oh, I've got a lot of questions actually, because I love this sort of stuff. I go to the farmers market all the time. So you mentioned $35,000 per unit.
Yeah.
But what kind of annual maintenance fees do you anticipate?
Well, we try to make it as automated as possible. Therefore, to reduce the input of the people who are going to be servicing it or look after it. So the only manual input would be to put the seedling and then collect the crop. Therefore, the only maintenance we give guarantee. So all the equipment is at least 5 years warranty. And all the maintenance that it requires is only needs to pour some water inside of it, but it uses 95% less water than the traditional agriculture. So it's not going to be you going to be refilling the water tank every hour or so. And apart from that, there's not many things that can go wrong about it. So it depends on the country, obviously, but we decided to reduce the manual labor, so the cost of running of this thing really is reduced to the amount of water and.
All right, I'm going to cut you there. Too long on the answer. I'm going to let Mike have a question very quickly, so everybody. But very quick question and very quick answer, please.
Thanks, Dimitri. I love this product as well. I was going to ask though, what do you think your unique selling point is that really separates you from the market? Because there are similar customers, similar, yeah.
Very quickly, Nikita.
We've tried our best to improve the existing technology. There's not enough information on the market, but we've looked through many videos and photos and documentation that these guys are posting. We've tried to utilize every inch of the space we've got. So we know that we can grow at least 50% more than our competitors in the same very space by utilizing it in the most efficient way. So the amount of crops and the outcome we get from it.
Thank you so much, Nikita. All right, let's go to scoring. I can't wait to hear your opinions. I'm gonna go to Aya first. Give us your score and also the reasoning.
Well, I have 3 categories for further as well understanding. So it's product, it's competitive advantage, and the team. I definitely like the team. The team composition is very, very good to start up. But the overall score is 8 still. The competition is huge, right? And the barriers for entry is low.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Aya. Dave, let's hear from you.
I like them. I guess my question would be, that why would somebody go with this instead of a traditional greenhouse? And with the price tag attached to it, at what point do you break even? So the team looks good. I love the concept and I like where it's going. I think it needs to be fleshed out a bit, but I think I'll give them a 7.
Thank you, Dave. Mike?
Thanks. I thought it was a very good presentation. It was crisp, but I think what it lacked was information about the growth and the real value. I think it lacked numbers and kind of, as an investor, convincing me that this was a way that I was going to make money and get a big return or a good return. So that's where I'd focus on going forward.
Excellent. Thank you, Mike. Ina, are you with us? Are you able to give us a score? Sorry, Mike, what was your score?
7.
7, yes. Thank you. Ina?
For you to see me. Hi, everyone. My score is also 7. To be honest, I was struggling with connection during the presentation, but I do remember this project from the last year, and I know what it is about. So I would say there's space for development. My score is 7.
Thank you, Ina. I'm still waiting for one of you guys to become a Simon. I would definitely be a Simon if I was in the jury. Thank you all very much. Nikita, thank you so much for your presentation.
You guys as well. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you.
Yes, I'm actually starting to like this feedback thing. It's awesome. Okay, next up, we're going to have the next startup pitching now. And the next startup is going to be presented by Anna. And it's called Sova, which is a mobile app for people with insomnia. And unlike other apps that deal with sleep, this one actually helps you to solve your sleep problems and doesn't just show you graphics about it. So Anna, the floor is yours, and you'll see the timer behind me once you start.
My name is Anna Gorodnikova, and I'm a co-founder of Sova app. And this is especially before going to bed rituals for people with insomnia to fall asleep faster. But let's start with the beginning. Sova, this is my second startup. First, calltracking.by is a profitable business right now with 2,000 plus clients. I have been in love with yoga and fitness for the last 4 years, and insomnia is a very personal issue for me. In my team, there is also Pavel Urban, who is a technical lead. He is a full stack developer with 8 years of experience working on a huge range of projects, from mobile applications to complicated financial systems. And Nadezhda Mogilevchik, she is our med advisor with 40 years of experience in medicine, the last 11 of which she has been teaching yoga therapy and working with people with nervous disorders. So I was shocked to find out that there are more than 70 million Americans, except me, suffering from sleep problems. Plus, have you heard that by 2027, the US mental health industry is planned to reach $4 billion. And from technological side, there is a spread of smartwatches and fitness bands from 9 million units in 2016 to 22 million units in this year. Why it's important, I will tell you a bit later. So how we built our idea? We analyzed 3 categories of mobile apps: sleep, fitness, and psychology. And then we used the Du Soleil-Circus principle in a combination of 40 years of experience in medicine. And thus we got a quite outstanding from competitors' product, especially before going to bed rituals for people to fall asleep faster. We have 2 secrets of high users retention. The first, the ritual efficiency is proved with scientific evidence and 11 years of yoga therapy practical experience. And the second is a personal approach to ritual development based on user sleep data from smartwatches and fitness bands. That's why it was important for us. Our business model is subscription. Since we started the project in July, we have already released on Google Play, and we plan to release on App Store the next week. So why us? Our idea is global and based on 3 fundamentals. As a team, we have 26 years plus years of experience in total, and the market is growing by 23% each year. We are attracting $200,000 under SAFE. The use of funds is on the slide. So sweet dreams to everybody. I'm open to your questions.
Thank you, Anna, so very much. My first question will be that I think the slides didn't show, but I think you still did a beautiful job, and I heard everything. And I always, when I teach startups to pitch, I say, don't pitch with slides. You can do it just fine without them. So at least for me, I understood everything that you said, and it wasn't a problem. So don't worry about it. Do we have any questions from the jury members? Aya, please.
Of course, thank you. I still the competition is huge again. What is your unique proposition? How do you plan to attract users, and how do you plan to be distinctive among hugeless amount of such apps?
Yeah, our nearest competitors are yoga apps, and here we understand that usually yoga is focused at as a morning routine, not like night rituals. And here
there are a lot of meditation apps as well. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and of course there are meditation apps, but meditation apps just aimed at breathing, not at just some exercises. And we put in our basis special stretching exercises that helps calm down the mind through body practices. And this was a unique experience of our med advisor. So we put it in our base like competitors' outstanding point. Plus, one more thing, as I told, we plan to integrate with smart watches and fitness bands, and our practice is like a constructor, and it's created with different parts, and we read data from smartwatches, and for a particular user, we create the most efficient practice to fall asleep for him ASAP, based on his data.
Thank you, Anna. Any other questions? Very quick ones. Dave, please. And Mike.
And this sort of market that you're going into, as noted, it's pretty high in competition. What influencers are you reaching out to use your product and then endorse it if they like it?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Our product is just quite young, and that's why we just did customer developer interviews on our market and on Russian market, and it was different yoga teachers plus specialist doctors about sleep problems, and we got their feedback, and plus we studied American scientific literature about stretching, about breathing, how it influences their ability to fall asleep, and prepared this research. So it's also available for reading in our app.
Yeah, I think the key to your success will be getting influencers to endorse your product.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mike. We're running out of time. Is that okay if I cut you out on this one, and you can start first next time around? So let's move on to the voting. So Aya, you were first again, so you will have the honors once more. You are muted, Aya.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I will be Simon this time. Yeah, and it will be 5 for me because yeah, the product is not convincing, and you know, I know that people are lazy, and you have to convince them to do a lot of job in order to fall asleep. So yeah, 5 from me.
Thank you, Aya. Let's go with Mike next.
So I like the start and I like the pitch and I like some of the sort of quirks you had, but I think it's where it struggled to me is around the profit and the growth and the competition. It seems very young and quite immature as a product, which isn't a problem. But I think you probably need to look at either getting it bought by somebody such as Facebook or another company, or really trying to grow it and maximize its potential. At the moment, if it stays the growth pattern you've got, it's too small, I fear.
Thank you, Mike.
I'll give it
yes, the score. Sorry.
I'll give it a 5.5. 5.5.
Oh wow, you're breaking my system. I didn't have a 5.5 in my system. It's okay. Yeah, I'll figure something out. Dave?
Well, I feel like they've got a tough road to hoe here. There's got a lot of competition, and sleep apps. In my experience, I've worked with a few on their content in the past. It's very difficult to get traction, so you're going to have to make a case to people that can sell it for you. So I'm going to give them a 5. I would have loved to see the slides, actually. So if she can send those later, that'd be great. But I'll give it a 5.
Thank you, Dave. Ina?
My score would be 6.
Excellent. Any comments with that?
Others? Yeah, I remember this project again from one of the another competitions. She's next, probably. And I do like them, and they much improved from what I heard last time. So my score is 6.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, and thank you, Anna, for your pitch. I love sleeping apps, so would love to test it out later myself. Okay. Thank you so much. We're moving to the next speaker, which will be George from ScootAPI. And it's basically a company that helps you start your own global e-scooter or e-bike business with a click of a button. I hope I explained it well. George is going to do a much better job. George, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. I'm George. I'm right now located at Tenerife, and recently I've been in London, which I really enjoy. So my project is about fleet management of e-scooters, e-bikes, and e-mopeds. The market potential is $200 to $300 billion in USA and $100 and $150 billion in Europe, according to McKinsey, to 2030. So this is a new industry which is growing really, really fast. We already have clients in Cyprus, Sochi, Lvov, Grodno, Kiev, and recently in London. And right now I'm in Tenerife launching a new client. We offering our software per license. We ask for €5,000 one-time payment, and then we take 10% from the revenue of our customer. So we have a sales funnel, but it's a little bit outdated. I want to show you the real data from my page. So as you can see, we have increased number of the leads that leave their information on our webpage. Right now, it's increasing the popularity of sharing system. People want to launch their own fleets, and we are here to help them. So we found a profitable business model at Tier Mobility company. I look closely to their unit economy and what they're doing. So we are copying and adapting this business model to our customers. And they recently get the round. I don't remember the exact number. Well, it's not so important. So we have the marketing budget for 9 months, and that's the main expense, and the budget to support our team. Our evaluation right now is 1 million. We dropped that recently because of the COVID situation, and we need $90,000 to invest more in marketing and into buying some scooters, because we noticed that it's easier to sell software if we sell additional scooters with the software. So people want a one-stop shop in our case. So we have a strong team. My co-founders was at Fusion, Exadel, at Flow Health, at PandaDog. This is one of the best startups in Belarus. So we have great expertise, and we're developing right now pretty fast. So if you are interested in our platform, in our startup, please contact me. I would be happy to answer your additional questions. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so very much. Let's move on to the questions. Mike, I promised you, first go this time around.
Thank you, Dmitry. And George, great to see you. I saw you about a year.
Yeah, great to see you again.
Back in February when I was in Belarus last. So pleased to see that the company's progressing. As I told you then, I think it's a great product. There is obviously a bit of competition, but I think where your unique selling point is your kind of low entry cost, as in you can offer the service quite reasonably. I think that where you're going to face fierce competition though is the fact that counties and cities kind of want to own these themselves. So it might be hard for you to be in some bigger cities. So I think smaller cities or towns are where you want to focus. I'd like to know how much you're giving away for 90,000, given that you value the company at 1 million. What percentage would you be giving for that amount?
It's 9%.
Okay. I mean, that's quite a risk for a company. I mean, because you're obviously going to overvalue your company. So I'd consider giving them more than that if you're looking for money. Because I'm not convinced the company is worth £1 million at the moment.
Well, actually, right now we earn in revenue, and we are not in rush into getting this money, so we can survive by our own money that we earn. So, well, yeah.
Thank you. Next question, Aya, and then Dave after that.
Yeah, we have one good company in our portfolio that kind of dealing in the same industry. And so, again, a huge competition over here. And how are you going to deal with the big companies that would plan to go white labeling their software, considering that they already tested this software on millions of users?
Yes, that's a very good question. The big companies, they offer the solution for millions of users. And so their solution has to be widespread and kind of average. So our customers, they always seek for the small niche in the market. And we provide them the software that they can use for the minimum amount of investments they can put into that business. So for instance, there is a local city, And in these local cities, there is a lot of bumpy areas where you can ride. So they buy the special scooters, which is really good in the amortization stuff. And they get our software and they launch quickly. And it's a small city, so big players don't look into that cities.
Thank you, George. A quick question from Dave, if you have one.
Are you threatening Lime?
No, we're not. It's insane to threaten Lime with their
Do you want to get bought?
financing and scale. So we are trying to fill in the market shares that is too small, too narrow for big players to get in.
Do you want to be bought by Lime?
Maybe if they make a good offer. Who knows?
I see
Okay.
that. Okay.
I envy you sitting there in Tenerife sipping coffee casually as you're pitching. That's quite a nice place to be. Okay, moving on to our jury. I would like to hear your consensus and your reasonings. So for ScootAPI, let's start with Dave this time around.
I think we'll do an 8. I like him. Looks like he's being kind of coy, but I sense that he's flirting with some of the bigger players to get their attention and later be bought, which is actually a great strategy. So I'll give them an 8.
Thank you, Dave. How about Ina this time?
Actually, Dave echoed what I would echo everything what Dave said. I like the guys, and I think there's they have a good strategy, and scalability of the project is evident. So I would give them 8 as well.
Mike?
I'll go a little bit meaner. George knows I like his company because I told him that face to face. But I'll go with 7. The reason for this is because I think you're going to find it hard. I want to know how you differentiate, and that's how I'd sell your pitch, is how you differentiate from existing. You know, how do you enter the market? What you offer that's different? I think you're cheap, which is good, but I want to see something different, or just differentiation with your product. As a bit of feedback. And then I'd like to see a bit more projections. I always like to see how much money you're going to make. So if you can talk about that on your slides, that would be helpful going forward.
Thank you, Mike, so very much. Aya?
Yeah, I will be even more harsher here. I will go with 5 because me personally, I already met a lot of startups that are doing the same, and they converted even from a scooter business. So they already tested their app and they have this advantage. Yeah, and well, knowing that you're already making revenues and you're not in a rush of raising VC money also puts me like a question mark whether you're investable from the VC perspective. That's why 5.
Excellent. Thank you, the panelists. Thank you, George, so very much. And enjoy Tenerife. I'll join in a few months whenever I can, you know, buy the first ticket out and enjoy the warm weather. Thank you all for the first part. Just to let everyone know in the audience and also in the jury, that the pitching competition today is split in 2 parts. We had the first 3 participants just now, and we're going to have the next 4 after a short panel discussion from our founders that are based in the US. And that was the way to do it for the timing purposes in the US. So we're going to have a half-an-hour panel right now, and then we'll be back for 4 more companies, and then the final results will follow. So the jury, you can stay in this room, or you can go to the other room. It's really up to you. That's not a problem at all. We are expecting our partners to call in any moment now. So thank you everyone for the first part of the pitching competition. It was quite exciting to see these 3 companies alive and kicking in the difficult times that are in Belarus right now. And I know for a fact that we have some amazing companies in the future. And moving on with the Biz Battle competition, I'd like to request the jury to come back into the room. I see Dave and Aya are ready to rock. Mike is here as well. Ina, are you with us also? Yes, Ina is with us as well. That's excellent news. I hope you also had a chance to listen in. That was a very interesting discussion from the Silicon Valley about the state of Belarus and the future of it. But now we must continue with our journey and our path towards figuring out which startup will get extra mentoring hours, participation in TechMinx Accelerator, and a special prize by DAT. Okay, so next up is a company called Lingvanex. And if you need anything translated, well, that's exactly what you do. And they do it with AI. And I think they're ready to compete with some of the biggest companies in the industry. So with that, I'd like to invite Alexei to the, what shall we call this? The stage? It's always interesting online. Let's say the stage, Alexei. So the stage is yours. You have 3 minutes to pitch and then 2 minutes for questions. And then you will be judged by our jury. Alexei,
hello.
The floor is yours.
Hello, guys. Can you see my presentation on the screen?
Yep.
Okay, great. Hello, my name is Alexei, and I'm a founder of Lingvanex company. We are making machine translation solutions for business based on AI. We are solving language barrier problem because there are many languages in the world, and there are lots of data in that languages. And every day, business loses a big potential revenue because of lack of localization. We can translate text, image, voice documents, websites in more than 110 languages that can be used for support service, business analysis, e-commerce, and so on. We have lots of benefits, and the most important ones are functionality, quality, and security. The translation market is quite unique. Because of rapid growth of AI innovations, right now it's possible to achieve the human translation quality by the use of machines. This market has a high fragmentation and lots of M&A deals. But this market had a big barrier to entry because you need to spend a lot of money of research and development. Why we need Lingvanex if there is a Google? Good question. Google is for individuals who translate small phrases of text for education or conversation purposes and don't need much features. For small businesses that don't need privacy, customization, or translate in small volumes, like students, travelers, language learners, dating, and social. Lingvanex is a translation tool for professionals, for small businesses who need to use translation for their professional purposes, to translate big blocks of text, documents, need a wide range of features for enterprises that need custom solutions, integration and privacy protection for interpreters, industry professionals, businessmen, researchers, and geeks. Right now, we have 2,000 paid customers, like Vivaldi, Belgazprom Bank, and others. Also, well-known companies contacted Lingvanex to integrate our solutions into their technical departments, like Apple, Huawei, Samsung, and we will start to integrate these companies next month. This is our current traction. We are working with SaaS business model. Of our software use this model. We have 2 companies. The headquarters is located in Cyprus, and the research and development company is located in Minsk, Belarus. We are a resident of High Tech Park. We already reinvested $800,000 from our revenue into our products. Right now, we have 15 employees. The core team is 9 people. The core team are real professionals who can create a complex deep tech product like machine translation. We are looking to raise 1 million in a valuation of 6 million to hire 10 software engineers to scale our backend infrastructure. Our revenue plan is to reach $300,000 of annual revenue till the end of this year. And at the end of the next year, we plan to reach $3 million of revenue to increase our revenue 10 times. Because right now we have our co-founder and partner who established a sales department team in the United States of 10 employees. Right now we have lots of leads in our sales funnel as well-known companies.
Thank you, Alex. Your time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Let's get to some questions. Mike, you were the first, and Dave, you were the next.
Alex, I mean, the obvious problem is that it's not groundbreaking in that there's a lot of competition, not just Google, but lots of others. I'm pleased you identified that though early on. What I'm interested in is your translation accuracy and why it's, what makes it better. I understand that you do blocks of text. So if I want 4 pages translated, I can come to you. Why would I come to you and not another translator? And I think COVID, if anything, might be damaging you because, or tell me if COVID is helping or damaging, because obviously now with everything online, a lot more freelancers. Again, I can go on Fiverr or I can go anywhere and get something translated. Loads of apps, not just translation ones, but people sat all over the world. So how do you deal with so many difficulties of being unique?
You mean how we are different from our competitors like Google or? How, I mean, to me, I could just use you or I could use 100 different other ones. I'm still not sure why you're better or different. Okay, the translation market is highly fragmented. The 200 the biggest companies have only 16% of that market, and this market has a lot of verticals. So this market it demands lots of features. For example, we are the only company in the world that can provide 110 languages as on-premise. Big enterprises need privacy. If you need to translate invoices, company documents that are privacy sensitive, you will not use the Google for translation. You need on-premise solution. And that's why you need to translate the big set of languages. And our company can offer the biggest set of languages as on-premise solution in the world right now. I think it's a very good feature.
Hey, Dave and then Aya. Dave, a quick question, and then Ina after that. Yeah.
I definitely have some thoughts about this, especially because one of the services my agency provides is translation and then localization as well. But I can tell you, you're mistaken when you think that these companies aren't using Google for their technical documents. They are, and then they're just trying to get somebody to localize them. But I see in you somebody that is disguised as a B2C, but really should be a B2B company. What strategic partnerships are you looking at with major players to attract growth?
Right now, for example, Apple company contacted us, and Apple company wanted us to create a solution to add features to translate XML, JSON files, to translate technical documentation. As I know, Google can't translate, and lots of other computers can't translate JSON, XML, CSV, and other technical file formats. But we can, and we will do small customization for them to make able to achieve their purposes. It's just, yes.
I'll cut you short. Aya has one question, and hopefully Ina as well. We have 1 minute for 2 questions.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more technical. I wanted to learn how did you train your AI?
Okay.
What do you have as feedback?
How we train? We use an open source framework called OpenNMT, and we used this open source framework as a core of our platform. Then we spent lots of money into our research and development to create high quality neural models based on that framework. And right now you can go to our website and check the quality. The quality is very good, like Google. In some cases, our quality is overperformed than Google in some languages. You can
Thanks,
type.
Alex. Let's go, Ina. One last question, very, very quick.
Okay.
Very quickly, you repeated so many times Google. Do you know about Trados and SmartCat? These are applications that are used by professional interpreters. By the way, I'm a professional translator, so I strongly doubt you are the competitor.
Okay, you just can go to our website, goes to the demonstration page, and just to compare the Google translation with ours, and you will get the answer. We spent $400,000 into research and development. We hired about 200 people around the world to make this project. We have scientists. We were the first in the world who create neural models for mobile devices. We were the first before Google. in 2018 in May.
Thank you, Alex.
Yes.
We're running out of time. Let's move on to the final verdict by the teams. So Ina, I'll start with you this time.
Sorry, my score is 3 because again, you didn't hear me. You shouldn't compare with Google your translation. Have a look at professional applications like Trados and SmartCat, and there will be the difference.
Thank you, Ina. Mike, let's go with you. We already have one Simon on this one.
Yeah, I won't go Simon. So I like, Alex, that I like your ambition. I think it's good that you've currently got clients and revenue. That's always a big tick. I think in the UK, particularly if you focus on B2B, as Dave suggested, I think there is potential. So I think it'd be worth having a conversation with Mehmet, Ina, or myself about where we can help you. I'd probably give you a 7. I think there's a lot of, I think we need to know more, but I think it's potentially got something there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Aya?
Well, I don't know a lot about competition, but I do agree with Ina. You should have compared yourself with other players that are not Google, but more like B2B. And I understand from your presentation that you are about B2B, but maybe this is a misunderstanding. But your numbers speak for yourself. I'll go with 9.
Okay, thank you.
Metrics being appreciated, huh? Thank you, Aya. Dave, how about you?
I keep going back and forth, but I'll stay with 6. And the reason being is I see a lot of potential, but I also kind of work within this industry somewhat, and a lot of what you said doesn't really jive with what I know to be with the industry. But you know, I'm open-minded and could be proven wrong, and I like your ambition. I like the possibilities. So, yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you, Alex, for your presentation. Now that Alex is complete, we're moving on to the next team, and the next team is called Accudriver, and they're helping to figure out driving rules all over the world. Okay, from Accudriver, we should have Semyon. Semyon, the floor is yours whenever you're ready.
Hi, everyone. I'm Semyon from Accudriver.io. Accudriver is the web application for compare traffic rules and road signs between different countries. Often, a driver who going abroad by car or renting a car abroad doesn't have any opportunity to check the difference between traffic rules of destination country and its own country. But not having knowledge of the basic traffic rules abroad can cause a road accident. Accudriver.io solves this problem and even more. In Accudriver.io, with one click, you can compare traffic rules and road signs between different countries and see this difference in clean and understandable format. Also, we have many useful additional features for drivers' communication, such as global chat and threads, where foreigners can ask locals about something related to traffic rules. Every user can help us to improve our rules database and can fill visited countries map in the profile. All features from previous slides are already fully implemented in the application, and you can check it right now on Accudriver.io. We want to note that our application optimized for all devices. There are 59 countries available to compare traffic rules, and most of them are European countries. We used computer vision algorithms, and our application architecture are high available and auto-scalable. Interesting fact that 35% of European residents use a vehicle for an outbound trip. Accudriver will be a large service for drivers from all over the world, and it will be a place where traffic information about different countries will be collected and people can share their experience. The application will always be free for users because there is nothing more valuable than human life. By the way, our application has advertising-based business model. We know user destinations country, and it's a great opportunity to show targeted ads and begin advertising contracts with companies related to automotive services. Please note that it's a very large market. Our goal is saving lives. Solving the problem of drivers' awareness of traffic rules abroad can have a positive impact on the number of accidents and the workload of emergency services. And 10 seconds about me. My name is Semyon Sobolevsky. I am the sole founder of Accudriver.io. Also, I'm a full stack developer who loves auto travel and want to make our world safer. You can see my contacts on the screen, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Semyon. Just on time. Aya, you were the quickest this time around. Aya, go ahead.
This is a very important question in order to kind of evaluate the market. Do you have a number, the percentage or the share of accidents that were made by travelers?
I understand your question. It's I tried to get this. I tried to get this information by I wrote mails to government, but it's so hard to get this information. Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, Dave.
Are you working with any local insurance companies on this project?
No, no.
They probably has...
Yeah, it might be a good idea for sure. Mike?
Yeah, in a similar vein, I think if you can partner up with either a rental company or an insurance company to test it and get some numbers, because what was missing for me was metrics about customer numbers, revenue, potential profits, and also I'd like to see a bit more AI in there. So can you tell when a driver's going into the wrong lane? Can you can you tell if it's a good driver? And what it might need help with, because I think linking it up with sort of the Internet of Things could be a unique way and a bit of a USP and utilizing the advanced AI that we have now.
Thank you, Mike. Ina, do you have a question? Oh wait,
no questions.
That was more of a comment, Mike, right?
Well, I was curious if you used any AI or if you could do any of that stuff that I talked about. Is there anything sort of innovative and creative? Are you using any AI? Have you got any plans to partner up with a rental company and try and offer this device for free to get some data of how useful it is?
Okay.
Questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, in that case, I think we're ready for the jury verdict. Who would like to go first?
Should I just continue?
Yeah, Mike, go ahead.
Then, I guess.
And then
so
Dave
I think
after
it's a slick app. I think that it would be like London, where often #1 most traveled city in the world, and given that a lot of Europeans use cars as a way to travel, so I think it's a good market to start in. I think it'd be interesting to talk a bit further about potential in the UK, but I mean, I'm going to give it an 8 because I'm feeling very generous. I think it's got potential. I do like it, but I think you really need to think about partnering up with some people, getting some stats, and also linking in AI with it a bit more. And then I think it could be something really cool.
Thank you, generous Mike. Dave?
I think I'll give you a 5. I think it's an interesting project, but I think it's very early stages and needs to be fleshed out quite a bit more. With as my fellow jury member commented, I think it needs a lot of AI, a lot of integration with existing players, insurance companies, and rental companies to see where it goes. I'm curious though, but I think it's too early stages. Love the UX though; looks very pretty.
Thank you, Dave. Aya?
Well, I'm sorry. I really like Semyon, but I'll go with 3 because there's no team. And being myself a passionate traveler who visited 60 countries already, I didn't have any problems with that. But yeah, and Semyon couldn't provide me with evidence that there's a market.
Thank you, Aya. Always good to have a Simon on the team. And Ina?
Most things said, I give them a 5 as well. Much space for development. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Simeon. Keep on rocking. Find some team members, get some AI in under the hood, and you'll be rocking in no time. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. And next up, we have a company called Fossil that's going to be presented by Alexei. And Fossil is an online music education for vocal training and playing musical instruments. I hope to hear some music, Alexei. All right, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, everyone. Okay, once again, my name is Alexei. I'm CEO of Fossil Music Education App. Fossil App offers one-on-one live online instrumental and vocal music practice program. We focus on the adult audience who want a new hobby. The consumption of adult people is changing. It's enough to view the audience of online games. It's about 30 years old. And so we have to introduce different time limits for most of solvent audience. Before starting product development, we did some research, and we also have experience in offline music education school and good understanding of consumers' need. By the way, we made a lot of mistakes during this project, and now it's helped us. Few of them, old learning conception are no fun. Online training without teacher doesn't succeed because of the lack of motivation. People want to achieve clear result and to be praised. Everyone needs personal approach, and people are willing to spend money on entertainment. Okay, finally, let's go to our model. We choose mixed business model. We sell training programs plus one-on-one consultation with coach who fits your personality and help you to achieve good results. On the screen, you can look at our pipeline and conversion. So we have around 7% conversion to payment from registration. However, we have a lot of issues, and when we solve them, we increase our result. In the last 6 months, we have growth 5 times and continue to increase number of our tutors and customers. On this slide, you can see the whole concept of market and lifelong learning. We focus on the hobby market segment. The valuation of this segment is comparable to valuation of English language learning market. However, at the moment, giant companies, by the way, it's about this market. Okay, however, at the moment, giant companies don't have a good product in this market. By the way, are actively buying startup to cover the entire market segment to achieve lifelong learning conception. You can see how many EdTech products they have right now. A few words about our competitors. For instance, it's Pelion. It's a Chinese market startup. They offer one-on-one live online instrumental music lessons. They already have 2 million active students, and they took investition, for instance, from Tencent. We currently have fewer than 20 employees and more than 100 tutors. On this slide, you can see people who are involved in the main process in the company. We all learn from our mistakes every day and look for new opportunities to scale our project. I hope you enjoy and interest in this project. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right on time.
Mike, right time, yeah?
Yes, perfect timing. Okay. So, Mike, you're up.
So I absolutely love this. I also watched the Netflix episode yesterday about music and learning. Which if you haven't seen, you should watch. It's very good. I think also we helped a similar company last year. And so that the Northern Powerhouse, the north of England, I think would be really interested. We can link you up with a few people there because that's particularly around music and education. I think though, I'm still a little, well, what I'd like to know is how you've done over COVID, because I'm hoping you've done well. If you haven't, I'm slightly concerned. So do you mind talking me through how you've done over the last 6 months?
I'm not sure that I understand the question.
Well, so how have you been affected by COVID and lockdown and more things online?
You know, before the lockdown, people, when people think about online music education, they often ask how it's exactly work, how I can produce lesson during the video connection, for instance, vocal and guitar, for instance, etc. So the lockdown only change the thing that they start use it, but for us it's we didn't like blow of new clients, like, you understand? Okay.
So did it get better or did it get worse?
Yeah,
It's better, but only in the mental thing that people start to understand that it's okay to learn music and online.
Okay, thank you. Aya?
About user data, how many users do you have, like monthly active users, and what is the frequency? How
Okay, monthly we produce more than 1,500 lessons for now.
And this is how many unique users you have?
Active users we have around 600.
This is daily or monthly?
Monthly.
Okay.
But they produce like, it's not 600 users for one session. It's a lot of session, but 600 active users.
Of course, I do understand. Yeah. And how frequent the average user is returning? So
okay,
what is the frequency?
For now we have, for sure we don't have a huge result, but for now average user spends 16 lessons on the platform. But we have a lot of technical issues and stuff why they drop from us.
Okay, thank you, Alexei. Dave, do you have, Ina, do you have a question? No? All
sure,
good?
I can confirm this is a lucrative market. I spend about $500 a month on my kids' music education. So it's, yeah. But I will say that most of the schools we have are just using Zoom. And our schools actually talked about seeing about white labeling a platform similar to yours. I guess I'd like to know, what are you exploring with the B2B white labeling side of things? And the second question would be, is why should we use you instead of Zoom or Preply?
Okay, first of all, you know how works MP3 format of music, yeah? They like they cut like it's hard to explain for me in English, but no. If you look at the relax. We produce our own video connection because of better quality of sound, and we the main issue in Zoom I can't like play on the piano without the delay. Because, sure. For instance, if I use the common piano, the sound will be double. You understand?
Yeah,
when I play my mic. Okay, so we develop our own piano with delay around 0.18 delay. It's a huge thing, because when you teach vocal and piano playing, it's extremely important. And also what I started to explain about Zoom and so on, that they cut like huge notes and bottom notes, and they took only the middle. So we change our video connection that
you basically have better
on
sound.
The audio instead of video.
Okay, I have to stop you now. We ran out of time. Thank you so much. Let's get down to business and give me some numbers, people. I'll start with Aya first this time, just to be safe.
Oh, Alexei, yeah, that definitely there was a language barrier. But I really like the that you are saying about the mistakes. That means that you are testing and experimenting and searching for the ways. And I really like that you understand the gamification of education, which is important. And as Dave confirmed that there's a market by spending a lot of money for one kid, I would give you 7.
7. Woo!
Thank you, Aya.
Thank you.
Dave?
I'm a fan. I'll give you a 9. I like it a lot. I can confirm that there's a big market for this with 3 kids in music school. But the other thing is I like where this is going. I've not to violate any NDAs, but I can confirm that there's a big market for this, and you're in the right direction.
Thank you. Thank you. It's huge.
Mike?
Thanks for the presentation. I really love this. I do think there's a big opportunity. I'd like to speak about linking up some people in the north of England, and Mehmet helped a similar company to you. I mean, I started with a 9. I'm going to drop you down to an 8 because I think your answers weren't as strong as I would have wanted, and I think that your kind of numbers around profit and growth need to be worked on, because 600 users is very small. But you know, I think I can see a lot of potential there. So it'd be great to speak, and I think you could do well, definitely.
Thank you, Mike. Ina?
Thank you.
My score is 9. I was struggling between 8 and 9, and what I would like to mention is the language barrier, which was mentioned by Aya, and I would add piano as well, because you have only guitar and vocal as far as I see from your website. So piano would be would raise your profile definitely.
Sure.
Thank you all so much. It's so hard for me not to be jury myself. I also know the founder of Musician very, very well. So, you know, if at some point you need an intro, happy to help. If maybe they want to buy you or something, or something else. Well, I don't know. Who knows?
Musician.
Oh, you want to buy? I will give you extra points for that answer. Thank you so much.
Please add from me 1 extra point.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Thank you so very much. At this point, I'd like to introduce our last but definitely not least company of the day. It's called ScootAPI, and it's really let's talk about saving lives for a change. Kirill has already been part of TechMints before, and he has a deep tech focus on identifying and detecting skin diseases, and the company is already knocking great opportunities in the market. So Kirill, the floor is yours.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Kirill. A year ago, our MVP helped to save a life. It identified the risk of oncology in one of the attenders of IT conference Emerge with our solution. Skin diseases is a big global problem. About 30% of primary visits to a doctor are associated with skin diseases. But the accuracy of GPs are not so good, and dermatologists are so expensive, and it's difficult to reach them. That's why we made our solution ScootAPI neural network. And now we reached a real-time neural network that can detect 50 types of skin diseases with accuracy like a professional dermatologist. At present time, we see our first customers of our application as cosmetologists, nurses, GPs, and dermatologists, as they are on the first line of skin health today, and they help us to improve our technology for the next step, the app for patients. Here you can see the main steps of our application. First of all, doctors need to create a patient. Then doctor need to put a place on the human body where neoplasm is located, then it will make a photo with our AI camera and get a result in a second. After this, doctor can use it to monitor in a time different malls. So we also have a cloud service for third-party developers, and we already have several integrations with another healthcare and telemedicine services. We're working on a subscription model based on how many images our clients use every month. Now we're focusing on the European Union market, where is 1.5 million medical specialists who work with skincare. So the market size can give more than 5 million euro annual revenue. Of course, we have several competitors, but we can detect many more diseases with the highest accuracy. Here is our small but a strong team, a collaboration of IT specialists, data scientists, and of course, medical doctors. This year we reached great results. We almost finished certification in the European Union and ready to enter this market. Thank you very much for your time, but still our vision is bigger. AI will change skincare in the near future for all smartphone users. Are you ready? Then make your first skin eye check on our website. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Let's get into the questions. I see Mike has his hand up quickly. The jury has learned to act quick.
Thanks. I love this. Really blown away by it. I think, I mean, my question is though, is all around legality and how much protection you've got. I mean, what happens if, I mean, are there any legal consequences if advice is given that's incorrect? How do you go about it? So my worry is that there's a legal side that you could get tangled up in. So I'm hoping that you won't. And I'd like to know how you'll avoid sort of big legal issues.
We have a great partner who help us to make a CS certification. Also, we hired a lawyer into our team 1 or 2 months ago. So now we move more faster with this work.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Any other questions? Dave, Aya has a question. Yes, Aya and then Dave.
Yeah.
Let's go with
yeah,
Aya.
Go on, Dave.
Oh, Dave. Okay, Dave first.
Yeah,
Aya second. Okay.
Sure. I saw something similar with AI and diagnosis at a Mayo Clinic Ventures event a couple of years ago. I guess I would encourage you to take a look at Mayo Clinic Ventures to help develop your stuff. But my main concern, of course, is getting the accuracy right, and then liability if you're mistaken in the diagnosis. So how accurate is it at this moment?
Our accuracy report is published on our website, so everybody can check our numbers. Also, you can compare our results with other competitors. In general, I want to say that even right now we have accuracy more than 90%. And at the end of this year, we will make new version of neural network, because during this year we scaled our trained dataset up to times, and we reach one of the hugest databases in the world. Yeah.
Thanks, Dave. Aya?
Yeah, you mentioned that your client's category is business or like probably practitioners.
Yes.
So what is the value proposition then from you?
We help dermatology. We help for all doctors. Cosmetologists don't know a lot about skin diseases, but they help with cosmetics problems. And sometimes cosmetologists can see some strange spot or some strange wart, and she don't know what to do. Can she make some cosmetic procedures or not? With our application, cosmetologist can make a photo, or cosmetologist or GP, and this is the fastest way of skin health screening, and it's available for all specialists. Yeah.
Thank you, Kirill. Thank you, Aya. Any other questions, Dave or Ina? I think Dave, did you have another one?
Oh no, I'm good. I mean, I live next to the Mayo Clinic, so I'm familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. Ina, do you have any questions to add?
No questions.
No questions. Okay, let's go to the jury then. Let's start with Mike.
Thanks. So I really like this. And I think that you've got huge potential. I think the UK is a natural place to look. We should definitely have a conversation, just because medtech is obviously an area that and tech is for startups, areas that we really specialize in. I'm going to give you a 9, just because I'm always reluctant to ever give a 10, but you're as close to a 10 as I could think. I think there's a few programs I'd like to talk to you about that I think could help you with. So I love it. I think huge potential, really good product. I think you need to get that 90% accuracy rate all over your presentation, because that's a really strong USP.
Thank you, Mike. Aya?
Yeah, well, it's kind of tricky for me to just figure out the market and, well, this value that is coming from this application. So those practitioners, they usually SMEs, and to spend extra money, I don't know. So for me, yeah, it's still not clear. That's why I'll go with 7.
7? Was it 7, Aya? 7, okay. In that case, let's jump to Dave.
I'll say 7. I think that for me, honestly, the 90% accuracy is too low. I think that needs to be higher, and because I think a lot of liability will come with a misdiagnosis. Also, I think there's going to be some challenges with getting existing businesses to use your app, because that might cut into their revenues a little bit. But as a lifelong hypochondriac, I can confirm I would probably use it to make sure that scratch is nothing, nothing sinister. So I'll go with 7, and I would encourage you to check out Mayo Clinic Ventures after this. So,
thank you, Dave. Last but not least, Ina.
9 from me. I think there is a potential not only for European market that you started to develop, but for the UK as well. So please consider UK and contact us if you need assistance.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that we have head office in the Netherlands. So we are neighbors. Your UK is not far away from us.
Awesome. Thank you, Kirill. And thank you, everybody. This actually concludes our section on the startups. I want to thank all participants and all the jury members. And right now, based on your voting, I'm going to announce the final results. The first reward is actually not going to go to the startup. It's going to go to our jury member. It's the Simon Award. I tabulated the awards, and by looking at the averages, the lowest average score was given by Aya at 6.42. So Aya, you are our Simon. Congratulations. Good job at scoring the startups. Very well done. And the nicest person in the room was Mike. So 7.28 of scoring the startups. Good job on being the nice guy in the room. Very, very awesome. And now let's look at the startups. I think it was actually a very close race with just 1 or 2 points between the companies all the way through. Some companies clearly were a little bit earlier stage, so it was harder for them to get higher points. So if you are one of those, don't get discouraged. You are just starting and you're competing against people who already have impressive traction and people in a team of 10 people or more. So whatever you do, don't get discouraged. So we have one, the prize will go to the winner, but I still want to say the top 3. And in the third spot, we have ECOntainer with 29 points. Congratulations, you were number 3 in our pitching competition today. In number 2, we have a Ski Knife that was here with us just now with 32 points. So again, Kirill, congratulations and good job. And the winner of the bunch is actually going to be Fossil, the music education app, with 34 points, despite the language barrier, I must say. So congratulations to Fossil. The prize for the evening is going to be, graduation into TechMint Accelerator next batch. You're also going to get 8 hours of mentoring from TechMint, and of course from DIT as well, which is our absolutely the main prize by DIT and the Embassy of Britain. So congratulations for that. We'll reach out to you to let you know how to get a hold of your prizes and what to go forward. And I would like to, on that, to conclude the day and to thank everyone for participating, everyone for supporting Belarus in its trying times. I know it's been difficult for the 7 startups today to, just even get here and pitch. For some of you was a challenge to make happen. So thank you all very much. If any of the jury members have some final words to say, you're very welcome.
It was a lot of fun.
Just jump in by saying, sorry, Dave, just by saying thank you for all the participants. I know it's tricky doing these things, but I was really impressed with the pitches. I think they've all got potential, and please do get in touch with Ina, myself, or Mehmet. Would very happily talk to you about, give you some ideas. Even if you're not thinking of the UK, that doesn't matter. We can genuinely give you feedback and ideas. All the services are free, and we love speaking to startups. That's why we're in this job, and we specialize in technology. So please do come and speak to us, and well done.
Excellent.
Yeah, I wanted to ask apology for being silent this time, but the quality of pitches was really nice, and yeah, that's for sure. That was, the stage the startup is in currently from my side. Yeah, and maybe because I kind of split it into different categories. So yeah, please feel free to reach out to me, connect on LinkedIn, and I would love to speak with Alexei in his native language as well, if you wish.
Yes.
Later on.
Outside of this panel, I know Aya to be one of the nicest people I know in the startup industry. So, it's I think it's a one-off situation today. Okay.
I was grading low, but with the smiling face.
Yes, with a love and heart.